We heard this news of an airstrike in Makala. When I see the picture of the strike, it really looks like the school where my child is going, where my son is going. It took me two days to find out whether he's alive or might have died. I was born and grew up in Makala, in Tigray region's capital. I lost my mother when I was a child, when I was 10 years old. My family separated after the loss of my mom. So I have seen how it feels to live in a family where there is no any attachment, where you don't have any influence to look after your brothers and sisters. So I felt like I should go to this humanitarian field and be engaged in the helping profession. That's why I found the opportunity to work at CBT. And then I moved to Medhanye to work with Eritrean refugees. When the conflict broke out, I was in Medhanye, and I received a call from my elder sister who lives in Addis, and she told me there is a conflict, there is war. Even if I knew it coming, that was a sudden news for me. Then with my colleagues, we moved from Medhanye, we moved to Shire, but then the conflict was advancing to Shire quite faster than we thought. So there was no any room for us to go and reunite with our families, reunite with my son, who is also in Makala. So myself, together with 4 or 5 colleagues who didn't manage to go to Makala or elsewhere, we had to stay at CBT office in the toilet. There was no access to food. We've been eating only biscuits and some water. When we hear the sound of the heavy weapons, the bombardments, you don't know where it's going to fall. So the only thing you do is just to do some prayers. Then we managed to move out. And there were very many IDPs out there, very many people in need of help, desperately. The level of trauma, the magnitude the community have endured is unspeakable. So together with my colleagues, then we said, even if the conflict is still ongoing, how can we support the communities? How can they make best use of us as professionals? The impact of the conflict on CBT staff have been massive. We've seen some neighbors, some children who have been affected by the conflict, who have died in the conflict. So witnessing that horror have left unbearable wounds in our mind. We're not able to get hold of our families. There isn't any communication. There is no way. I can't reach out my dad. I can't reach out my son. I can't reach out my families in Makala. Some of them they thought I have died. To make the matter worse, a very good friend of mine, a colleague, as a veteran staff of CBT, he has been ill, and we all tried to get him medical treatment. But all the hospitals were vandalized, no medical attendant. So for lack of proper medical treatment, we lost our colleague. He died. We felt powerless. We felt vulnerable. So it really amazes me how resilient and courageous everyone is. With all this, we've been trying our best to provide some care. I'm always inspired by the female colleagues we have at CVT. The widespread torture, sexual assaults, loss and grief, for all of them to stay there, to be ensured and be available for the beneficiaries, for their clients, is magnificent. It was very difficult for us to provide psychological care when there is no basic need available. But just hearing some of them being grateful for us being at least available to listen to them, to value them as humans, and to be able to provide some care has been quite motivating to continue, not to give up. So thinking of the future of the community, I feel like there is so much that they should do. We would like to make sure that there is post-traumatic growth in our community by building the community resilience. Many children who are the next generations have been out of school, have lived through the war, and they need professionals like us. So my team and myself, we seem prepared. I'm truly inspired by staff of CVT.